Welcome back to the Final K. We have got stage 2 of the Tour de Romandie. Today there are 40 kilometers to go. So we've got 40 kilometers to go in this race. I thought it was going to be a more selective group to finish, but the way it's riding at the moment, it looks like we are getting a bunch sprint at the end of it, but we will have to see. There is a climb. Let me get this up. So this is what stage 2 does look like. As you can see, I will try and tell you exactly where they are now. So they're currently sat... Where's my red arrow? I need to bring it up. So they're currently sat right about there. Yeah, in and around there where that red arrow is. That's where they're currently sat at the moment. And there's a breakaway up the road. It includes 4 riders. And those 4 riders are Soderqvist of Little Trek, Filippo Conca of the Italian champion of J. Coalula. We've got Roland Talman from Tudor. And then we've also got Renard Haquin of Picnic Post. And Roland Talman of Tudor, he is now provisionally in the polka dot jersey. He won, I think he won the 2 other category 3 climbs, yeah. Got 5 points for the top of those. He was in 15 points time with Lenny Martinez, but after those 5 points, he now moves provisionally into first place with 25 points. So he does. And just on Picnic Post as well, they won their first stage. So they did. They won their first stage of the year. They won stage 5 of the Tour of Turkey. So Casper van Houten has kicked the Picnic Post season off already, with the first win of the season for them. It took a long while to get it, but they finally got it. Alright, Johnny, all good. But back to the Tour de Romandie, we have got Ineos at the front doing the pacing. Mauro Schmidt as well, he unfortunately abandoned the race, as well as Matteo Gaffuri of Picnic Post. So to Picnic Post, I would say Picnic Post's main guy for this race, I would say he's abandoned. Hello, Kat. And hello as well to you. But Mauro Schmidt unfortunately abandoned. He was my prediction for today's stage, so he was, and he has abandoned the race. Sean Quinn of Ave Education, he didn't start the stage, so he did not. But the gap for the breakaway to the peloton is around about 30 seconds. I will get a quick poll going because I have a feeling. It's technically stage 3, but stage 2 because of the prologue, so it's day 3 of the Tour de Romandie. I have a feeling who the favourite is going to be now, but I did see a lot of people. Actually, I'll get my favourites back up. I've seen quite a few people mention Within Philipsen. Nope. So they're just a couple favourites I grouped together. So Tadej Pogacar, Dorian Gudon, Lenny Martinez, Primoz Roglic, maybe if there's a breakaway, he's got a pretty good sprint on him, and then Albert Within Philipsen, who, like I said, I've seen quite a few people mention his name. But I think the way it is going now, I think it is going to a Dorian Gudon win at the end of this. Hopefully something does happen on the final climb, and we are able to see a bit of fireworks just instead of a bunch sprint. But I will add... Did I spell that wrong? I think I've spelled it wrong. Yeah, I did. I spelled it wrong. I will change that now. That's sorted. So where was it? Yeah, that's right. So I'm just getting this poll set up here, and I will then have a look and see who you are all going with. But we've got 37k to go. Hopefully doesn't take too long. But there we go. Poll's out. I think I am going to change my prediction to Dorian Gudon. I didn't think he was going to make it over the final climb. but I think with the way Ineos are controlling the pace here, I think it may head that way unless Tadej Pogacar attacks on the final climb itself. The final climb they hit with 6 kilometers to go. It's 3 kilometers long and it's 5.4 something percent on average. And then once they hit the top of it, it's 3 kilometers to the finish. So not that far away from the finish line, fairly close. So if someone does get a gap at the top of it, they could get a bigger gap on the descent. Picnic is going down, easy to see. Yeah, there's it's unfortunate. Picnic aren't doing the best, but they've had a few close calls this season. I guess a sprint between Gudon, Albert Philipsen, and maybe Pogacar, if he bothers. Yeah, it's all about it. If Pogacar fancies a stage today, he'll attack on the last climb and probably gap. If not, he'll try and fancy his chances in a sprint. Going to be the inscription. That was great. But I thought his tactics yesterday were a bit strange because he did, when Pogacar attacked, he was the one that went straight to his wheel, held the wheel, and then he just dropped off the back to go and help Lipowitz. I thought he would have maybe stayed and fancied his chances, but obviously team's orders to go back and help Lipowitz, in which he did. I think he was only able to help Lipowitz for a while until he dropped himself into the group down, and Lipowitz was able to make it back. So I guess the tactic did work in the end. I just thought it was a bit odd. Yeah, he didn't finish. Chapousson didn't really finish as high as I've got him on my fantasy team, so he didn't finish as high as I hoped him to finish. Where did he? Oh, he's in 65th, so he was away on down. But yeah, he does have a bit of pace to him, so maybe he could pull something. I hope there is a smaller group that breaks off the front. I hope we don't get a bunch sprint here at the end of this. I hope there's some sort of small group that breaks off the front. Maybe 5, even lower than that, maybe even higher than that goes off the front. But I think at the moment, if it goes the way it's going, Gudon is the main favourite. So other with 33% of the vote. Gudon with 33, Pogacar and Withen Philipsen with 17. I thought Withen Philipsen's sprint there at the end of the stage yesterday was very good. He obviously won the sprint for the group of everyone else that wasn't in the Pogacar group. So it was a good sprint from him. All right, Shelley. $34K to go, and Ineos are still at the front. So they obviously lost Oscar Onley yesterday, so they're going to try their best to salvage whatever they can off this Tour de Romandie. And I mean, they started off with a bang, obviously winning the prologue with Doran Gudon, but they obviously would have wanted something for GC, or maybe they're going to try and get more stages with Gudon and try and protect him as much as possible. But Ineos' main GC guy, I would say, would be Carlos Rodriguez. They've also got Andrew August, who, don't forget, won a stage there in the Itzulia Basque Country. He won the final stage of it. So they do have stage winner options if need be, but it's a very short stage race. It's only about five stages long, 6 if you include the prologue, which they did go on to win. But Sergio Higuita as well, if it's a reduced, he got 6th yesterday. If it's a reduced group, let me look at yesterday's results. So in the group with Withen Philipsen, he obviously won the sprint. Higuita of Astana finished them behind him, so he could potentially get something out of it. Luke Plapp as well. Junior Le Cerf, he's tiny though. He's like Lenny Martinez, he's really small. Tiberi got 3rd in that sprint in the second group. So yeah, if it does come to a reduced group, I think it'll be very open, unless Tadej Pogacar's in it. So it becomes less open. But yeah, I think it'll either be Gudon or Pogacar. That'll be my two. 31k to go, so they're cutting down the kilometers here brave and quick. However, the gap has increased to 40 seconds, and we hit an ad break. Of course, we hit an ad break. Yeah, Albert Philipsen is very quick, and he proved that yesterday as well. He's only 19 as well. That's the thing. Jeez, 19. Same age as Paul Sexas. I think Tiberi's result came because he didn't have to do a lot of work in the group, because obviously Lenny Martinez was up the road, so he had better legs than everyone in the sprint at the end. So that could have resulted in why he did finish so high in that group. Yeah, I think when Roglic moved from Visma, it was almost like his retirement move. He left Visma at the top of his game and went to Red Bull, and he's just sort of going with the wind, and whatever comes up. But it is he hasn't been the same since, put it that way. Let me have a quick look. Yeah, Tiberi, obviously he was very good in the UAE Tour, but we just haven't seen that from him since then. I obviously had high hopes for him going into, I think it was the Tirreno Adriatico, going into that. No, who's that? I've clicked the wrong guy. Oh my god, it keeps... There we go. So, yeah, he rode the UAE Tour and got second in GC. And then after that, he rode the Trofeo and got third. And then going into the Tirreno, I thought, here we go. Tiberi's probably going to show something here. And he just didn't. He wasn't there in any stage. And it all fell onto the shoulders of, I think it was Peo Bilbao. Yeah, so maybe he was working for Peo Bilbao, but it was just unfortunate not to see Tiberi capitalise on that, on the form he got from the UAE Tour. And then obviously he went to the Italy as well, abandoned it. But he got a top 10 there in Romandie yesterday, so... But obviously he's going to be working for Lenny Martinez at this one. Well, Roglic, he got the big money move to Red Bull. Once he left Visma, Red Bull came calling, and he got that big money move. 19 seems like last week to me. Will Evenepoel allow Lipowitz to be the outright leader at the Tour, or will there be shenanigans? I think there will. I think there definitely will be shenanigans in the first week. When's the first mountain stage? I think it'll be open for Red Bull on the first mountain stage. See where Remco finishes on that first mountain stage and then goes from there. Let me see. I think there's one in the... Oh, there's one in stage 3. But I wouldn't say it's like a big... But it still has a mountain stage. A lot of climbing, a lot of high altitude in it as well. So yeah, I think they're going to see how it plays out in the first stage. Stage 6 is also a mountain stage. I think they're going to see how it plays out at Red Bull for the first mountain stage or so. See what happens there. See where Evenepoel is, but I think they're obviously they've dug themselves into a hole, because Lipowitz obviously got third last year, but then they've brought on Evenepoel, who wants to win the Tour, but he doesn't have it more than Lipowitz this season. So I think there will be shenanigans if you want to put it like that, in the first week, maybe first week and a half, until Evenepoel realizes that, Lepowitz is doing better than me. Obviously, I hope Remco does the best he can at the Tour de France and he does finish high, but I think once he does realize that, Lepowitz is going to be the main guy here, then he will start to work for him like he did in the Catalunya. Or was it I think it was the Catalunya. We're back off the break. 26 kilometers to go. The gap is now 44 seconds for the break, 48 seconds. Obviously, the riders in that break are Jakob Söderqvist, Filippo Conca, the Italian champion, Roland Talman, who is now provisionally in the polka dot jersey, and then Renard Haquin of Picnic Post-Danel. I never watched cycling then, so I didn't watch it, but I do remember have seen highlights of it. So the kilometers are, so went from 35 now we're down to 25 now, so 25k to go. This will probably wrap up fairly quickly. I wasn't planning on going live early. It was because I didn't really expect a lot happening in this stage. I actually didn't expect the break to be out. I thought the break would have been wrapped up and all by now. So I did. But they're still out, which is good. Adds a little bit extra to it. Wasn't he 3? Probably in and around that age, probably. So Dalman off Tudor, he's the one leading them in the breakaway. The rider from Picnic Post is currently sat in second wheel, Renard Haquin, and then Conca's third, and Söderqvist is in fourth. Jakob Söderqvist, obviously he's 22, he's a big future ahead of him in the time trialing space. He obviously won the World Championships at the under 23 level last year. So he did. I get second in the GC at the Tour of Denmark. Tour of Denmark, did it get cancelled? Or was that the Tour of Norway, one of the Tour of Norways? I think it was one of the Tour of Norways that got cancelled. But Söderqvist definitely does have a bright future ahead of him in the time trialing space. And he's from Sweden as well, which is odd. You don't really get a lot of riders from Sweden nowadays. Will Söderqvist take over Remco's role in the time trial? That would be massive shoes to fill that. So it would. I don't think he'll be as good as that, but. And the break is stabilising out here. It's sitting at about 43 to 45 seconds. It's jumping up and down between. I think they're saying is that? Oh no, that's a sprint. There's a sprint coming up at 1.3 kilometers away from it. So they are. Actually, let me go through the jerseys because I didn't even. I usually have the jerseys up on my screen, but I forgot to do it there last night. So obviously Pogačar is leading in GC, so he's leading GC. Florian Lipowitz is in second, 7 seconds down. Lenny Martinez is in third, 16 seconds down. Nordhagen in fourth, 23, and Withen Philipsen in fifth, 31 seconds down. In the points jersey, I think that is fairly wrapped up already with Tadej Pogacar in first with 75 points, Florian Lipowitz in second with 37 points, and Lenny Martinez in third with 35. Gudon is in fourth on 30 points. So that'll be someone to watch out for, because I think he'd be probably the only other one trying to get that points jersey off Pogacar. The KOM jersey, Lenny Martinez is in second now because of the Roland Talman off Tudor. He's now 25 points provisionally, so Lenny Martinez drops into second. Tadej Pogacar is still in third on 10 points. And then the youth jersey, Lenny Martinez is leading it. Nordhagen in second, 7 seconds down. Within Phillipsen in third, 15 seconds down. And then Luke Tuckwell in fourth, 26 seconds down. So that's just a brief look at all of the jerseys. I will get them all up for tomorrow's stage. So I will have that all sorted out by then. Let me have a look at the poll just quickly. Dorian Gudon leading the poll, 43%. Pogacar in second, tied with other at 21%, and Witham Phillipsen on 14%. I thought someone had dropped from the break. No, they are all good. I also seen a clip, I think it was towards the start of the stage, some writer from NSN, I don't know what happened, but his foot unclipped from the pedal, it seemed, and he went flying off into the field at some speed. He almost did like a Superman on the bike. He didn't crash or anything, but it was just random the way it happened. I don't even know how it happened or what happened, but it just looked very weird. There's a rider from Ineos. So Ineos are losing their teammates here, 22 kilometers to go. Pardon me. Hold on. Ben Swift. Sorry, I thought that the shade on the colour on the armbands, I thought it was Carlos Rodriguez there, but no, it was Ben Swift. So tomorrow it marks 1 week until the Giro d'Italia, which I am still very excited for. Obviously, a lot of teams now are starting to announce their lineups for the Giro d'Italia. And I seen something this morning there. Arnaud Delis is riding. I seen yesterday Arnaud Delis riding the Giro, but when I woke up this morning, he's riding the Giro, but he's dropping out on stage 10. I don't know why they would announce that so soon. Obviously, keep him in it and keep a bit of excitement around it, but everyone now knows he's going to be dropping out. I think he either drops out after stage 9 or he's... Obviously, that's the same thing. But he'll not be... No, I don't know if he's dropping out after stage 9 or after stage 10. But he's dropping out anyway. I don't know. Obviously, in preparation for the Tour de France, he wants to get a few races under his legs, but I don't know why they would announce it. Reese is the new real deal. I appreciate that very big compliment. However, I still like Lantern Rouge. I think they're very, very good. And it is a big shoes to fill, so it is, because the way they delve into the tactics is something I don't think... I don't even know how they get all the tactics, like, but fair play to them. But yeah, Uno X and the Unibet Rouge Rockets, I think, are the only teams to announce their teams for the Giro so far. Oh, they've got the Net Company on PCS. They've got the Net Company jersey in the Giro d'Italia start list. It's just a grey jersey. It's not even green. But the only teams, yeah, Uno X and the Unibet Rouge Rockets Obviously, the Unibet Rose Rockets are going all out. They're bringing Dylan Groenewegen, Lucas Kubish, Wout Poels. They're throwing balls to the wall here for a Giro win, which I do think they actually are going to get. And then Uno X, they are bringing Andreas Lacknesson, Erlen Blicker, and then they are also bringing Kulset. I think that's how you pronounce it. Kulset. They said he's going for the GC, so he is. So that's going to be their GC rider for this. 22 years old as well from Norway. So that is a lot of pressure for him. And then obviously Erlen Blicker for the Ciclamino. But they're the only 2 teams to announce. Hopefully a lot of more teams do announce quite soon, build a bit more hype for it. But we obviously do know riders that are racing it. Obviously the bigger name riders, Jonas Vingegaard, etc. Tobias Lund Andresen's riding it, but he is also riding the Eschborn Frankfurt tomorrow, so hopefully there's no issues there. Paul Magnier, Jay Vine, Palazzari, Gal. I don't know if Jan Christen's riding it. The UAE team is going to be an interesting one when it does get announced. It's going to be very interesting. Caden Groves as well. He's meant to be riding it. I'm excited to see him finally get his opportunity in the sprints, because he has been doing a lot of work for Philipsen and Van der Poel. I don't know why his name slipped my mind there. So the amount of breaks I'm getting here in the final. So we've got 20k to go now. So the kilometers are slowly, or not even slowly, they're getting slower. So they are. The gap is now 22 seconds. Don't forget as well, I've got my preview for the Eschborn Frankfurt out as well if you want to go and check it out. Obviously after this race, go and check it out. I give my prediction for the race as well and a couple of riders to watch. Obviously Michael Matthews, the defending champion, isn't going to be racing it this year after his unfortunate injury, breaking both of his wrists. So it's going to be a new winner this year. But I will wait for the camera's currently on the breakaway at the moment. Still the same 4 riders. No one has dropped yet, but the gap is comfortably sat at 22 seconds. I'm going to wait for the camera to pan to the peloton here. See if any of us are still pacing at the front, but I'm expecting them to still be there. Right, here we go. Eyes on the peloton. And it looks like Ineos have sat off a bit as UAE are now taking charge as well as Jayco. I think there's 2 Jayco riders at the front. Red Bull are now moving up the middle and UAE are on the left-hand side. So they're the main teams at the front in the peloton at the moment. So maybe UAE are looking to up the pace here in hopes to drop Gudon. But I think in the next maybe couple kilometers here, we're going to descend down towards the final climb. In the final 10k. Obviously the final climb's within the final 6k. They head up with 6 kilometers to go, but there's a big descent down here, down towards. It's Van Aert riding the Tour de France for the green jersey. Well, I think he's riding the Tour de France definitely, but I don't know if he'll be going for the green jersey. I'm not 100%. Obviously, if he feels right for the sprints, why not? But I think I mean, I'd love to see him go for the green jersey again. Don't get me wrong. But I don't know if he'd be able to to keep up with today's sprinters. Actually, no, I don't think he is riding the Tour. He's riding the Vuelta. Is he riding the Tour, though? I think they probably will send him to the Tour, but I know he's definitely riding the Vuelta. And obviously, if he is riding the Tour, I'd love to see him compete for the green jersey, but I think all hands on deck for a Jonas Vingegaard win. Mightn't be allowed to go for it. Yeah, I don't think he will be allowed to go for it. I think he will. I think he will be used for his power in order to try and drop Tadej Pogačar like he did a couple of years ago. 16 kilometers to go now. 23 seconds is the gap. So the breakaway are holding out here. They're holding out at the front. Still the same 4 riders. Nothing has changed. The only thing that has changed is the team that is pacing at the front of the peloton. .27 seconds is the gap, so it's growing. I think they're about to hit I wouldn't even really call it a descent. I would just call it a downhill towards the last climb. Oh. Also, just touch you. I was caught there in the corner of my eyes. You're talking. I never actually knew that your man Patrick from Lantern Rouge. I never knew he was a lawyer, and then he went on to become. I don't think he's tactical. I think what I remember hearing is he was like someone who helps do the season planning for the riders. And helps look at like other writers to sign. I don't know the exact job but the job the job he does have sounds actually very cool. And I remember seeing Benji as well. I think he went on for a year to be someone who looks at the sprints for Visma, which I also think is a very cool job. All right, Joe, are you all good? So 14k to go now, and they're onto the downhill bit now. And it does seem to be a lot steeper than I thought it was going to be. I thought they'd obviously just made the profile of the stage make it look steeper, and it wasn't as steep in real life, but they're going down this descent at some speed now, so hopefully there are no issues on it for anyone. Cameron's now at the back of the peloton, obviously just in case they do catch up to the breakaway and the motorbike gets caught in between. So I'm not sure who's pacing at the front of the peloton now, but the gap is 25 seconds, so the breakaway are still holding it. 13k to go. Oh, now my stream's buffering. Great. There is a rider from Quickstep at the back, but I couldn't see his number, so I don't know who it is. Camera's back on the breakaway though, helicopter footage. And I would I'd be happy if the Breakaway won it. Like if they were able to keep the 25 seconds and work together, it'd be pretty cool to see the Breakaway go on to win it. Although I highly doubt it now. The only thing I'd say about the UCI going after Lantern Rouge and Benji, I just think it just reminds me of like FIFA or UEFA going after all the other people who do like football content, or the NFL going after everyone who does American football content, or NBA going after people who do basketball. It just seems, what's the point? You're going after people who are talking about the sport, bringing eyes to the sport. Why go after them? They have an opinion. Just let them have an opinion, if it is right or wrong or whatever. But the governing board of a sport should not be going after people who make videos on opinions that the governing board make. That's a good name as well, Axel Zingli. He is a good shout. Well said, thank you. Must be that they're seen to have some clout. But that's good. That's good that there's because they're the biggest. Lantern Rouge are the biggest channel when it comes to cycling. So it's good that they are a big channel and that they're on YouTube getting big numbers and big views when it does come to cycling. Oh, apologies. Hit my monitor there. Yeah, I love them. I think they're brilliant. I think they're really, really good, and they do good for the sport of cycling. Make sure they do. Your man Patrick, he does. I think he pays for the highlights. I remember him saying somewhere that he pays to be able to show the highlights, and sometimes he gets more views on the highlights than TNT does. So it just shows that they I don't know. I don't like getting into stuff like that, but it would remind me of the World Cup's coming up in summer. So that's like someone talking bad about FIFA on a red card or a decision or something, and some guy coming out and saying that's not right, and then FIFA literally going after it. It doesn't make sense to me. So it is a bit weird that the governing body are going after the biggest channel that promote the sport of cycling. It seems a bit weird. Anyway, 8.6 kilometers to go, and the gap is now 33 seconds as Soderqvist looks to be going off on his own and dropping the rest of them. I would love Soderqvist to win this. I do like him quite a lot. I'm a big fan of him, so it would be very good to see him go on solo to win this. Conca, the Italian champion, is. So the order is Conca, who is a decent bit back. Renard Haquin of Picnic Post is the one trying to get the Conca's wheel, and then Talman is off the back, but you can't see the peloton coming up behind them here. They're not on the final climb yet. There is a wee bit of a hill towards before the final climb, which they are currently on. They'll descend down onto the final climb now. Oh. But 8.18, exactly 8 kilometers to go, and the gap is 33 seconds. So 2 kilometers to the foot off the final climb. Let me have a look at the name of it, see if I can pronounce it. No, I can't. Villians, I think that's what you call the final climb. But Soderqvist is off on his own here. I will wait to see what the peloton is looking like after this descent, but they are going fairly quick, and I am expecting Soderqvist. His name is so, it's hard to say very quickly, but Soderqvist is 9 seconds ahead of, I think it's Conca. Reinhard Haquin as well, according to PCS. I thought I seen one person there in the distance. But it is he's out solo. He just needs to channel his inner time trialing ability. But the camera's still on Soderquist. I want the camera on the Peloton here. I want to see what's going on. So they're onto the small descent now down towards the 6.7 kilometers to go. And also don't forget there is 3 kilometers after the top of the climb towards the finish. Time gap's still 23, but I'm not going to take that as gospel because they are going fairly quick down the descent, and I haven't seen the Peloton, so I don't know if 23 seconds is accurate, but Soderquist is putting in a massive effort here. And he is going fairly quickly as well. What's the gap? So Soderquist, 6.3 kilometers to go. PCS says 10 seconds down is Filippo Conca, the Italian national champion of Jayco. And then 23 seconds down is the Peloton. However, I don't think that 23 seconds is correct. I think it is a lot shorter than that because I've just seen them there. From a bird's eye view, I couldn't tell who was leading at the Peloton, but right, here we go. This is a pretty straight road. Let's see if we can see them come around the corner. I think if someone does attack on the final climb, I think Soderquist will be caught if he does end up going over it solo. But I think if he hits the bottom of it and the group stay together, I think, I don't know what way it's going to play out here. But it is a very good performance from Soderquist. You still can't see the Peloton in the distance, so it's giving me, well, never mind. 17 seconds is the gap now. It's updating now. 18 seconds is the gap. I think Conca's been caught. But we are now on to the final climb. 3.1 kilometers long, has an average of 5.3%, and the steepest section on it is from 1.5 kilometers into the climb to 2 kilometers into the climb. There's a steep section of around 6.5, 7%. But either side of those, it's about 4 or 5%. But here's the Peloton now. They're closing in on them, and it does look like the Peloton are doing some speed. There's a gap forming here of 5 riders out the front, including Tadej Pogačar, who is sat in second wheel. So there's some speed, and the Peloton doesn't seem to be reacting to it as gaps are starting to form. But Soderquist is still up the road. 20 seconds it has increased to now. 4.9 kilometers to go. So we're into the final 5k. Right. Hold up, I need to... Right, so the front of the Peloton is a Red Bull rider, Tadej Pogačar, another Red Bull rider, Lenny Martinez. Who is that? Is that another Red Bull rider? The orange jersey, whatever the orange jersey, I don't even know what the orange jersey. But Dorian Gudon is currently sat in 7th wheel. So Dorian Gudon is staying, yeah, Dorian Gudon has won this. He is sitting in a perfect position. Maybe I'm stupid. What is the orange jersey? That's a great start. Let me see if I can try and work it out here. Because is that a Red Bull helmet? It is a Red Bull helmet. So it's Florian Oh Jesus, Florian Lipowitz in the points jersey. So Lipowitz is still there. 4.4k to go, and Red Bull are doing a massive effort here. Who do they want to win it? There's no way Lipowitz is going to win this in a sprint. Maybe they're doing it for Roglic, but Roglic is the rider at the front. Is that Roglic? Yeah, it is. Roglic is the one at the front of the Peloton doing the work. Tadej Pogačar in second wheel. There's another rider for Red Bull in third. Lipowitz in 4th wheel. Martinez in 5th wheel. Gudon isn't on the 7th wheel anymore. He seems to have dropped back quite a bit. Cepeda from Movistar now attacks on the right-hand side. Tadej Pogačar straight to his wheel. And There's gaps starting to form here for Lipowitz. 4.1 kilometers to go, 6 seconds. There's Soderqvist. He's going to get swallowed up here and spat out the back. But, right, we're getting a group here forming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 riders. I think I see I don't know if it's a Peloton getting back onto them. Yeah, it is the Peloton getting back onto them. Tadej Pogačar is at the front of the peloton here, doing the work. Finn Fisher Black as well. Finn Fisher Black, good shout. But it's Tadej Pogačar is at the front. I think Jayco are coming towards the front now. I think that's Luke Plapp, it looks like. 3.7k to go, so we're near the top of the climb now. And I think Dorian Gudon is in that bunch somewhere. But everyone is looking over their shoulder, speaking to each other. No one knows what's going on. Lipowitz now on the right-hand side, attacking onto the wheel of the Movistar rider who's decided to attack. Tadej Pogačar closes that with ease. But it's all the GC guys at the front. That was Pablo Castrillo of Movistar who did the attacking there. But Dorian Gudon, I think he's in that group, but he's towards the back. Cepeda now of Movistar, he's doing another attack. Cepeda's dying for a stage win here, so he's attacking yet again. Tadej Pogačar is reacting to it. But what are the gaps? Not a big gap, but Tadej Pogačar is going to close it fairly quickly. Luke Plapp is on the wheel of Tadej Pogačar, and then there's about a bike length from Luke Plapp to Lipowitz. This is actually getting interesting. Commentator just said Nairo Quintana's still in the group. Nairo Quintana's still here. So as it's looking now, 3 kilometers to go. They've completed the final climb. It's Tadej Pogačar at the front, Luke Plapp in second, Lipowitz in third. There's another Red Bull rider in fourth. And then we've got a bunch that does include Dorian Gudon, apparently. I haven't seen the French champion. I did see him before Cepeda attacked at the start of the climb, but there's another attack out the front. Who is that? The helicopter has zoomed out. Who is it? Rider from Tudor. But the gaps are forming now from this attack from Tudor. Tadej Pogačar is trying to close that gap. Lipowitz as well. Gap from Tadej Pogačar and the peloton. He's trying to close down to Tadej Pogačar. There's a rider from EF there as well. The Tudor rider gets shut down. Definitely want to see Nairo Quintana win a stage before he retires. But it's Voisard, Janis Voisard of Tudor Pro Cycling is the rider trying to get a win here. Lipowitz now puts in a massive attack on the left-hand side. Luke Plapp follows him. Tadej Pogačar doesn't even care. Tadej Pogačar blows his nose to the side of the road and is able to keep up the pace after flooring Lipowitz's attack. Two kilometers to go exactly now. But we've still got a big bunch here going into this final kilometer, and I don't know if Gudon is in it. If he was able to hang on there at the end, I think this plays into his win massively. But the helicopter, I still can't see the French champion. Pogačar sat in fourth wheel now. Nordhagen is sat in fourth wheel now. Well, he's actually sat alongside Tadej Pogačar and Lipowitz. I'm at 1.4 now, so you're ahead of me. 1.4, 1.3. So it is going down very quick now. Another attack from a Movistar rider. I think Pablo Castrillo, is it? Yeah, 141. There's a rider from Little Trek still here, which Albert Withenfeld completely forgot about him. He will obviously be a massive factor in this sprint. Pogačar in third wheel, Nordhagen in fourth. I think we're into the final kilometer now because the kilometer has disappeared. So I think we're into the final kilometre. As a massive attack on the right-hand side from Florian Lipowitz. Anyone able to follow? A rider from Quickstep follows. Looks over the shoulder. So it's Lipowitz at the front. Commentator said Valentin Paris-Pantre. Then there's a Movistar rider. There is a Dorian Goudon is in fourth. Yeah, Dorian Goudon has won this. There's no point in me doing anything. Dorian Goudon opens up the sprint, comes through the middle. Dorian Goudon is not letting up. Is there any point? Dorian Goudon, yeah, he's at the front. Tadej Pogacar on the left-hand side. Rider from... Oh, Tadej Pogacar got it. Tadej Pogacar took it on the left-hand side on the line. Goudon in the middle. And there was a rider from Red Bull on the left, or on the right, sorry. I think it was Finn Fisher Black. I thought it was, as soon as Goudon opened up the sprint, I thought that was it, done. Who was that from Red Bull as well? Finn Fisher Black it was. So it was a three-man sprint on the line, and Goudon loses it on the line to Tadej Pogacar. That is it. That's... Wow. $76 people in here. Wow. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. I'm live again tomorrow for the stage 3 of the Tour de Romandie and Eschborn Frankfurt. And obviously live for the Giro d'Italia next week. But yeah. That's me eating my own words. As Goudon opens up the sprint, I said there's no point in calling this. Goudon's won it. And Pogacar comes out of nowhere on the right hand side and just takes it on the line. I will wait for the top 10, but I think the top 3... It's Tadej Pogacar, Dorian Goudon, and Finn Fisher Black. So very, very good sprint. But that was Tadej Pogacar beating a sprinter on brilliant form as well. That is that's nuts. Very good final 10k that was. You have everything, give something to the others in. As I said, Tadej Pogacar can do everything but sprint, like against big sprinters, and he's just beat Dorian Goudon. But that, wow. So Tadej Pogacar gets the 10 bonus seconds. He gets the points at the end as well for the points jersey. So he is sailing up this GC fairly quickly. It's like watching an adult racing with kids yet. It's like watching a pro racing at under 23 level. He's like a rider that just does everything. Like, name me a weakness in Tadej Pogacar's game. A flat sprint, I'd say that would be it. But he just beat Goudon though. But that wasn't, I would that wasn't a proper flat stage, like, but he's still beating sprinters. Right, here we go. Preliminary results. So Tadej Pogacar takes first. Dorian Goudon finishes in second. Finn Fisher Black takes third. Champousson of Astana, he took fourth. Valentin Paris-Pantre of Quickstep took fifth. That's surprising for me. He beat Within Philipsen, who took sixth. Davide Tonati of Astana takes seventh. Janus Vossard of Tudor in eighth. Steinhauser of Ave Education in ninth. And Nairo Quintana takes 10th. Nairo Quintana gets a top 10. That is brilliant. Top 10 in a sprint. Brilliant to see. So that was a top 10. They're just showing the replay here of Goudon. He just didn't have that extra bit at the very end. Tadej Pogacar didn't. Goudon was not happy after that sprint. He was not happy at all. But a lot of small riders there in that top 10. Nairo Quintana and Valentin Paris-Pantre. So yeah, that will. I was also thinking of that, but Steinhauser and Nairo Quintana are an absolute shock for me. I think Valentin Paris-Pantre was a shock for me. I wouldn't have expected him to be in that. So I think that updates. I think Tadej Pogacar goes like 17 seconds clear now on GC. But yeah, that is that's stage 2 of the Tour de Romandie. I'm going to end the stream here now. So I'll be back again tomorrow for stage 3 if you want to join me. So don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like the video as well. It does mean a lot. And I will be back tomorrow for stage 3, like I said. And I will also be back for the Eschborn Frankfurt, the one-day race in Germany. My preview is out for it at the moment, so if you want to go watch it, it's greatly appreciated. But yeah, I will end it here. Thanks for joining me if you were in from the start as well. Appreciate it. Means a lot. And I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching the Final K, and all the best.